Welcome. 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 How are you, Interested in having a browse? Oh, I just set up shop yesterday. They say Rome wasn't built in a day, but this charmingly quaint hole in the wall was. Hidden gems. Yes, hidden gems. That's what I decided to call it. It's a good name, I think. Doesn't reveal too much. Just enough to get your interest. And to maybe, just maybe, convince you to take a look in the window. And if I'm extremely lucky, it'll get you through the door. Now, do tell me what it was that caught your attention in the window. I noticed you give it a quick once-over. We have a wonderful selection of things here. Oddities, curios, collectibles. You name it. We probably have it somewhere. Either on the shelves or in the cabinets. Or even in the back. As much as I'd like to pretend that I'm all set up and ready, I'm afraid that's not quite the truth. There are still boxes in the back, I'm afraid. Items to be catalogued, priced and placed in the shop front. So, as I said, if there's anything you have in mind, don't be afraid to ask. You never know what may be lurking in the dark corners of the back room. But for now, I understand. You're just looking. It's awful when you're just having a look at a shop's wares and the staff won't leave you alone. Oh, may I help you, they say. But it's not help they're looking to offer. It's a high-pressure selling tactic. No, I won't be practicing any of that particular behavior with you. My wares all but sell themselves. However, I would just like to bring your attention to one or two lovely pieces we currently have, just to give you an idea of what we can offer. Here, in this cabinet. Can you see that pendant? The ruby set in a silver orb, held in a clasp of twisted branches. Beautiful, isn't it? real ruby, and real silver. A very fine chain, all hallmarked. And you might think that it's just a pretty piece of jewelry, wouldn't you? But you'd be incorrect. Oh, this is a fine piece of workmanship, yes. A breathtaking bauble. But it comes with a rather storied history. It was created by a Scottish noble for his much younger bride. She came from parts unknown, which wasn't too unusual back then. He was besotted with her and had the necklace made. She, in turn, accepted it and wore it every day until her death, which wasn't ever so much later. One night, she simply vanished. The locals were surprised, of course, but not as surprised as they were when her body washed up on the shore, several islands over. Necklace still in place. The Lord kept the necklace, but gifted it to his eldest daughter once she was of age. And 2 or 3 years later, the daughter disappeared. Briefly. She washed up as well, but much, much later. About 100 years later, as it happens. Oddly enough, the necklace had tangled with her skeleton. Now this necklace has been through several different hands since then. But it does tend to have a remarkably reliable pattern. The wearer becomes quite fascinated with the closest coast or body of water. They grow sick with longing for the seas. And then one day, they disappear. But they always come back. The necklace makes sure of that. Oh my, no. This is not an item you would purchase for yourself. Goodness, no. That'd be a terrible idea. But the perfect gift for an interfering mother-in-law? Or a wife standing between you and your happiness? I don't keep records of who purchases what, by the way. I've no head for paperwork. And what about this? A very pretty little cup, isn't it? Oh, now, my knowledge of this item is, somewhat limited, I'm afraid. It's Karatsu, and I'm sorry to say I only have the one cup left. It used to be part of a set, so I'm told, for traditional Japanese tea ceremonies. I'm afraid Karatsu ware is not considered to be the best option out there. But I think, once you hear of this dainty cup's properties, you'll be quite forgiving. This cup can be used to serve any drink you wish. To be quite honest, you wouldn't even need to serve the drink. Simply pour water into the cup. And then give it to your chosen subject. Chosen subject. Once the subject consumes the liquid from the cup, it has the same effect as a truth serum. Except this actually works. I would, however, warn any prospective buyer of this item. You don't always want to hear the complete truth. You can do your best to control the flow of conversation, but the average subject finds themselves compelled to confess to every hidden secret, every illicit feeling they've ever been afraid to expose to the world. In short, you could use this to see if your beloved feels the same way about you, but you're just as likely to find out they once struck a hitchhiker and left him for dead. A double-edged sword, you see. Excellent for blackmail, however. Oh, am I taking up too much of your time? Perhaps only one more item, yes? Let me think. What would be best to show you now? Ah, yes. Here. Are you old enough to remember Magic 8 Balls? Time moves so quickly nowadays. Now, the toys are nothing special, of course. They're only toys. But, once in a while, even toys can develop, abilities. And this particular one is something quite special. This one actually tells the future. Oh, but not for the person who holds it. The only catch, I suppose. Shall I demonstrate? Let me see. Why don't we pry into the future of one of our local school teachers, Mrs. Abernathy will do the trick? Oh, no, we don't need to ask a question. The ball doesn't work that way. It simply tells you what you need to know. Interesting. It seems she'll be here in just a few minutes. Looks like she's embarking on a local history project for her class. There's quite a bit of opportunity for me there. And now, I really must conclude the tour. I don't mean to be rude, but Since you're not in a purchasing mood, I'll thank you for stopping by and look forward to the next time you come in. You'll have quite the story to tell me then, won't you? Oh, well, I suppose that's not happened yet. But it will. Oh, no. No use worrying. There's nothing you can do to stop events that are already in motion. Best to just be careful about making any enemies and avoid stirring the pot. Keep your head down and your chin up. We're already entering phase 2, you see. Do take care. I'm sure I'll see you later.